Welcome back to the IAMPRAISE Network, where the favor of God increases every single day. And today we are going to talk about how to upgrade your reality. Stay tuned. So it was on my spirit, a couple of days ago about how people often want better experiences. They want, experiences to where they can just feel like they're having an elevated experience, like they're having, just smoother transactions, smoother moments in life. And it was in my spirit, upgrade your reality. You have the power to upgrade your own reality. And when I say that, I want to be specific on what I'm saying. Upgrading your reality, meaning the way that you live, the way that you dress, the way that you think, where you're working, how you communicate and interact with other people is your daily reality. It's the reality that you live in, how your children are, how your spouse responds and reacts to you. You can change all of these things. A lot of times people want other people to change, but when you change yourself, this is how you quickly can upgrade your reality. Like in a sense of leveling up, glowing up. When you begin to change yourself inwardly, when you begin to change your health, what you're eating, when you begin to change your health, when you begin to change what you're eating, what you're doing, you begin to have more energy. You begin to feel better about yourself. You look better in your clothes. You feel better about that. Even your presence and your confidence improves in this way. So when we talk about upgrading your reality, one of the first things that I want to mention where you have to start off is understanding your vision, where you want to be, understanding your vision. Where do you want to be in life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? I like to incrementalize things. I like to look at things for the whole month. Overall, I start with the full year. I break it down to 6 months. I break it down to quarterly. But each month, I'm looking at what do I want to accomplish in that month? What do I want it to do? What my roles and responsibilities are? And I begin to plan accordingly to that. And when it comes to changes, small habits bring big changes. So posturing yourself has to do with planning and having the right vision. You cannot plan if you don't have a vision of where you're going to be. So that's the first one. All right, so the next one is your boundaries. I'm really just going to go over 3. I talked about your vision, and this one is your boundaries. I'm really going to go over just 3 because I want you to I want this to melt in your spirit and really to hit you in a different way. A lot of times people think they have problems and they have issues with people. No, you really don't have a problem. It's that you don't have a boundary. Because whether someone disrespects that boundary or not, you will reiterate that boundary by putting it in place and by bringing the consequences or the rewards for those boundaries being respected or disrespected. So this is something that helps to upgrade your reality, is reviewing those boundaries, especially if you know you're about to go somewhere and be around some people that normally disrespect those boundaries, or whether it's family, friends, relationships, neighbors, work, whatever the case may be, because people quickly have a way of showing and revealing to you who they are in 5 seconds flat. You put these boundaries in place to protect yourself and protect your peace. We've been talking a lot. The world has been on a rampage of mental health. That's a ditto. It should have been a big thing that people practice. And I'm so glad that it's coming to the forefront more. And this is something that's important when it comes to the future, is protecting your peace. Sometimes people find themselves in relationships or situationships. And when I mean like just uncomfortable transactions, maybe you had expectations and maybe someone did not keep their word, but you keep your boundary. If you're saying to yourself, hey, guess what? I'm not going to do this anymore. Thank you for showing me this person revealed this to me. I know that this is a saving grace moment whenever you're able to make a choice and a decision off of that matter. Okay, they didn't do this. We discussed we were going to do this and they didn't keep that. So now what I'm going to do instead is I'm not going to do this for them anymore. Boom. New boundary put in place. Consequence for that boundary being broken because they didn't keep their word, whatever the case may be. Or another situation, maybe you had a hairstylist and you asked them to do something and they did something opposite of that. Okay, so now instead of getting upset and calling everybody, they messed up my hair, that's fine. You don't have to go back to her. Like, why put yourself through the rigor, of trying to make somebody, sometimes there are moments where it is definitely a redeemable moment where people can be given another chance, because accidents, things happen. But with someone repeatedly, we really don't want to get to that place where people are repeatedly disrespecting boundaries and doing whatever they want to do and handling you any kind of way. So when it comes to upgrading your reality, there are people who live in a reality because their money positions them in that reality. There are people who live into a reality really because their boundaries position them in that reality. So that's a big piece. Having vision, knowing what you want, not being afraid to get it, and not being afraid to wait for it. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, so the next one that I want to share with you is something, it's a bit different because we're talking about upgrading your reality, and doing that is your action plan and your follow through. Having the action plan in place and your follow through, that is important, because you have a vision, that's great. You have your boundaries, that's great. But having that action plan and then following through each time, right? This will help upgrade your realities, your habits and your routines that you created from your vision, your habits and routines that you created, putting it in place and saying, God, I need you to help me stay consistent in this. Above all of these things that I'm talking about, I want to mention to you that it's important to have a prayer life. I want to mention to you it's important to be consistent in your relationship with God and your devotion time with the Lord, because this gives you authority over issues, especially when you're dealing with it from a spiritual perspective, where it becomes, some people are like, why do I keep on doing this? Sometimes it's a spiritual matter, and you need to cast down, pull down those strongholds mentally, and even sever relationships or ties spiritually, because it's something that keeps making you gravitate towards that. So having that prayer life is important, because the action plan and the follow through, you don't want it to be difficult because of spiritual sabotage or demonic interruptions. You want to make sure that you are clear. You've forgiven people that have hurt you. You're releasing people, and that you're operating in a space that is sound in your mind and in your heart, so that you're making choices not off of emotionalism. So spending time with God helps sift the emotions so that you're doing the right thing that you need to do. I don't know what they're doing over there, but making sure that you are spiritually clear is something I believe that the Holy Spirit can only do. Okay, spending time in the presence of the Lord. So I do not subscribe to any other things such as sage or whatever, any of those different demonic, dark, double standard things that open up doors to so many different things. I am a believer and follower of Jesus Christ, and I believe that it is important that you have a prayer life and dedicate time to the Lord. Even if it's not the same time every day that you're dedicating time, He's going to get that time from you. You're going to see an improvement in your self-worth. You're going to see an improvement in your reality, because we want to be led by the Holy Spirit. I'm not sharing this with you to make a plan so that you can make a plan for yourself to get out of things or things like that. I'm sharing this with you because it is important that you have Jesus Christ in the center. Otherwise, you can fall into these things where you're in the reality of someone else, the way that they want it done, the way that they want to do things. So keep that at the forefront of your spirit. Okay, so I hope you guys have enjoyed the video today about how to upgrade your reality, and I am looking forward to seeing you guys next week on the IAMPRAISE Network. Listen here, I have a women's mentorship program coming up, and it's going to be for 5 months from August. It starts August the 13th until December. I would love to see you part of this women's mentorship program. We will be having in-person meetings, in-person outings. It's going to be powerful, and I'm offering 3 different types of payment plans. You can pay in full. You can pay in full, you can pay weekly, or you can pay monthly, but there's something for everybody. And the weekly payment plan is no contract, and they're all no contract, but you want to make sure that you are able to have access to class, so you want to follow that procedure. But it is called the Deborah's Women's Tree Women's Mentorship Program. I'm so excited for people to get the curriculum. I'm so excited for everybody to get their hands on everything. I'm so excited to see people in person. I'm so excited to see people virtually. So this is a virtual and in-person opportunity. I want to see you there. If you haven't signed up, go ahead and click the link below and be a part of this amazing venture. It's going to be amazing. You're talking about accountability, professionalism, home management, women in leadership. We are ministering to women in leadership. And if you're a woman, to be honest with you, you're a leader, whether you realize it or not. In your workplace, with your children, with your family, in your career, you should be in this program. I hope to see you there. Thank you guys. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week. Bye.